Welcome to the podcast today. I heard that you came to sit down and pray. Welcome to the podcast today. I heard that you came to learn some things today. Hello, welcome to the Earth to Marissa podcast. Today we are moving slowly. Last week I was moving slowly, and today we get to continue moving with grace and compassion for self. I am tired, y'all. I just want to sleep. I just took like a 2.5 hour nap after work because I felt zonked. Y'all, and so that's where we're at. We're holding grace, and that is my self-care this week. Before I dive into that, we are going to be talking about abundance. Okay, money boss babes. Abundance, money healing, money trauma, just money mindset. And I'm going to share just kind of my personal story with abundance. And by no means am I a master in this. I'm still growing and flourishing in learning how to work with abundance. But I'm going to share some things that have really helped me on my journey with abundance. And I hope they help you too. But the biggest thing for self-care this week is sleep. I'm allowing myself to sleep when I want to sleep, and that looks different every day. Ironic that I yawn right when I start talking about sleep. Yeah, in the December energy update video, if you haven't watched that, it's live on my YouTube. Sleep was a very big theme this month of making sure we sleep when we are feeling called to, because sleep is a great way for our bodies to recalibrate right now. It's a great way for our bodies to move into charging and processing and integrating, and yes, this recalibration. And I felt that today. I, in my nap, dropped into the dream state a little bit, which I thought was interesting. I had a very interesting dream. And when I woke up, I was like, wow, I am not here. I am not here yet. There's some lag time between where I was and where I am. And if you haven't watched, I made a YouTube forever ago, a YouTube video about the dream state. It's one of my first videos, and it was super interesting, the messages that came through. If you find yourself waking up and you feel like you have just come from a different place, or you're not quite there yet, or you have really intense dreams, or you just want to know about more of the dream state and what we do when we go there, definitely check out that video. I used one of the tools in that video right after my nap, which was bringing a yawning day. Energy is moving, energy is flowing, and we say yes to this. So I used one of those tools, which is basically if you feel like part of you is somewhere else and part of you is here right after you woke up and you don't feel fully present, I always say I call all of my energy back to me into this time, space, and moment from any and all time, space, reality, and dimension, cleansed and cleared, come back to me. And when I do that, it comes back fully, and then I feel a bit more grounded after waking up. So that's the self-care. I am sleeping. I am yawning. Energy is flowing. I don't know about y'all, but like, are you exhausted? I just feel so tired all the time. My recluse state has been going very, very strong. It's weird, like energy will hit me and then energy goes away very quickly. So I'm just riding the waves, and I don't know if you can hear that, but we have a cat in the house, and she is wanting to be on the podcast. She is really sharing so much wisdom on the other side of my door. So the affirmation that we're working with this week is money and spirituality can coexist in harmony. So I was looking back at a book that I did, which I will share in a little bit. And it's a money workshop book. And it was really, really beneficial at the time when I was dropping into deep money healing. And I loved walking through it. And there's a page, like one of the days you go through, it's day 9, affirming your money truths. And you drop into and see which affirmations resonate with you. And there's like 22 affirmations, and that affirmation really stuck with me, because oftentimes when you're a spiritual being and you come from literally lifetimes and planets where money did not exist, yet you are practicing in this life, like holding these high vibrations and trying to navigate the earthly realm from this other knowledge of living in a place where you received love for anything that you did, or there was just energy exchanges. And then we come to this place where money is very prevalent on earth, and it can be a little bit weird, especially with all of the heavy money energy that is also tied to how earth is operating right now. And so it's really important for me to remember that money and spirituality can coexist in harmony. I can be a spiritual being and also be a rich person. And 2, it's dismantling that belief that rich people are bad, because that's not always true. And if we view money in that way, that is viewing money as bad. And if you view money as bad, well, honey, you ain't gonna get any. You ain't going to get any, and it's not going to come to you, or it's going to be a lot harder for it to come to you. So how can we restructure our beliefs and, be that beautiful rich person that we admire and that we hold high, and that uses money in a beneficial way for all involved, for humanity? We get to decide that, and spirituality can coexist with large amounts of money. We see that all the time. I'm sure the people that are listening to this follow other spiritual people, and there are so fucking spiritual baddies out here making millions, okay? And I'm happy for them. We get to celebrate that wealth, because if they can do it, we can do it too. Abundance is not just made for a few, it's made for all. So that's the affirmation we're working with. And I think this is such a beautiful symbol that came up, guys. Completion is the symbol card for this week. And take it in. Completion resonates so much when we are talking about abundance, because abundance and realizing that we are all abundance. It's not something we have, it's something we are. And coming into that remembrance brings us into completion. And this card, this symbol, really rounds out our energy and brings us into wholeness. It asks us what is keeping us from wholeness, from true, unbiased, unconditional connection to source, to ourselves, to the energies that we get to play with and work with in our lives. What is keeping us from that, and how can we come back into a state of completion? So meditate with this, visualize this symbol, and allow it to show you the areas in which you are creating stagnant energy or limiting beliefs, or maybe a past experience is coming in and it's holding you back from this state of wholeness, the state of completion. And when working with abundance, it's so important to act from the place of complete, because you are fully complete and perfect right now. And oftentimes when we look at our bank account or we look at the money that is present in our lives, we put all of our abundance in that basket. And then when we look at it, it's like, we don't have a lot, which means we aren't complete. And then lack mentality comes in, and we start acting from this place of, I need something in order to be something. I need money in order to be happy. I need money in order to live the life that I want. I need. And it's good to take a step back, work with the symbol of completion, and understand that you are fully complete right now. You don't need anything. Mic drop. You don't need anything, because you are complete right now, and where you're at is perfect. God, universe, source, goddess sees you as perfect right now. So definitely work with that symbol. And the crystal that came forward, I didn't sit with this, so we'll see what comes through right now, is Dalmatian Jasper. And my bestie always, she holds this and she says it feels like the first sip of like a Sprite soda, like very fizzy. And I feel that too. And let me just tune in and ask Spirit real quick, like how does Dalmatian Jasper serve us when working with completion and abundance? Okay, I was seeing like it's like a jump starter. I saw jumper cables. It's a jump starter. It's like this electrifying energy that comes in, and basically what I'm seeing is like it sends lightning strikes of the knowledge or whatever energy you're working with through your body and through your energy field. So it just heightens the activation of whatever you're working with. And so definitely work with that if you want to ignite and electrify your completion. So I'm going to be holding that. And if anything else comes through, I will let you know. Definitely check out, work with that. I visualize the symbol in my mind's eye. I meditate on it. I'll draw it. I hold it with me through the day. Find your way intuitively, what works best for you. So this workbook, well, I'll start here. So I worked with a mentor, and I've worked with a mentor. Shout out Brittany. Divinity Experiencing is her business name. Find her on Instagram. She is actually going to come on the podcast soon. I can't wait for that episode. It's going to be awesome. She is such a fabulous being. And I took a course that she has, which is called the Abundance Code. And that course fully shifted. Lots of energy coming through. Fully shifted the way I view money. And of course, I have ebb and flowed through life. Like after that course, like I shit you not, I received like $3,000. And she has had people that have taken that course that have gotten $10,000 like during the course. Like it's truly insane and such a beautiful course. And I'm pretty sure one of the girls in my group like got like this insane amount of money just kind of out of nowhere. It was like 50 grand or something like that. And like truly this is happening. And it's wild how just even opening the box of healing your money wounds, healing your relationship, and getting rid of the limiting beliefs and just focusing so much on your prosperity, it's wild what can just like flush through, and then you have an open channel to receive. It's amazing, and a lot of things have stuck with me from that course and from this workbook that I'm about to share, and that's what I'm sharing today. But definitely, if you are in a place where you are struggling with money or your relationship with money, I highly recommend doing some outreach. Go to your resources, find someone, or call upon spirit to send you someone to help you work through it. This workbook is what Brittany shared, and it's called Unleash Your Inner Money Babe. Yeah. Unleash Your Inner Money Babe, a money manifesting workbook. Up-level your money mindset and manifest $1,000 in 21 days. So it's by Catherine Zenkina. And it's a 21-day workbook that you go through, and there's like prompts and stuff. And I totally just lost the page that I was trying to say. Found it. And it was truly lovely to move through. So a lot of the things I'm sharing came from that. A lot of it comes from personal experience, personal discoveries with money, and then also the abundance code. So find your resources. Ask for mentors to the universe, and know that there is support everywhere, and you don't have to continue living life the way you are. And that brings us to one of the biggest points. Anything can change in a split second. Anything, your life, your money, your viewpoint, your beliefs, they can all change in a split second. This is what it means to be a quantum being. You can jump into different versions, into different timelines, into different realities for yourself. And so if you are seeing a certain number in your bank account and you're like, I have no idea how I'm going to get through to the end of the month, or I have no idea how in a few years, like I want to have kids, but I have no idea how that's going to happen because of my current financial state, or whatever it is, like I have so many student loans right now, how the heck am I going to buy a house? Whatever it is, whatever story you are telling yourself, I want you to know that what you see right now is not how it always is going to be. Everything can change in a split second. You could be a millionaire in 2 weeks, randomly. That's how fast things can happen. Tomorrow, you could get a call that could completely change your life. And we need to start holding that mindset. When working with a certain energy, we want to feed it with limitless potential. We want to feed it with gratitude, and we want to feed it with positivity. Those 3 things are what open the floodgates to having a really nice, flowing, open relationship with a certain type of energy. And I think so there's this word that gets thrown around, delusional. Okay, delulu. And a lot of people think spiritual people are this word, delusional. And it can be, depending on the scenario, it can definitely be seen as a bad thing. But in my viewpoint, delusion is what helps you create your reality. It's holding the vision of the reality in which you know is true for you. And by holding that vision, it is then created and has a place to grow. There's an example when I was just in this lull between jobs. Okay, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know I just started a new job like a month or 2 ago, probably a month and a half ago. And before that, it had been like 2 months where I had been just chilling with a job, and I decided so strongly to trust. I was like, I'm not going to go out and search. I'm not going to try and find because I don't have a job. I'm not going to blah, 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 blah. Like lack mentality. No, I wasn't feeding that. I know that things come to me word of mouth, and I trust that so strongly. That's how my reality works for me. And so I decided to play. I just played during that time, during that break, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And I held the vision of knowing that I am an abundance being. I am abundant. I am abundance. Abundance is my nature. And so I'm taken care of right now. I am held, and anything that I need comes to me with ease, with grace. And when the job is ready, when spirit wants me to work, I'll find that. I will find that because abundance flows through my life. It matches my frequency. And y'all, while I was waiting, or maybe not waiting, while I was playing, thank you, Spirit. While I was playing, I received 2 checks in the mail. Randomly, 2 health checks. Why was I receiving them? Have no idea. One was for like $168 or something like that. The other one, I shit you not, was like $1,200. Holy shit. And that is truly, I believe, because of the mindset that I held. You know, I trusted so strongly that spirit got me. The universe holds me. I am so taken care of that if I just focus on myself, I focus on playing and creation, I'll be taken care of right now. And I was. That's what happens when you play in the limitless potential. You play with the unknown. You aren't scared of it. You play and you create with it. You work with it in this positivity and this grateful way. And during that time, I was really trying to stay grateful for the things in my life. Grateful that I was supported and living in a place where I was paying pretty cheap rent. I was supported by my friends and family. I was supported by the ideas and abundance in my life. I just grateful for everything that was present. And by being grateful, it kind of shows the universe that you are ready for more. Because if you can accept what is present in your life and accept all that is here for you and be cool with it, be chill with it, then the universe is like, oh, sick, okay, she can hold more. They can hold more here. But if you're like, oh, this is horrible, like I don't know how to get through this, I am so scared of the unknown, I don't know what I'm doing, you kind of running around, you just run around in a circle. And like the universe is like, they're really stuck right now, or I don't think they can hold more because they can't hold where they are right now. They haven't accepted where they are right now. And that's the same thing with money. We need to accept what we have right now with the knowing that it gets to grow, and that what we see isn't the end all be all, and that anything can change at any moment, and we get to play and be grateful for what we have right now. And playing with this money, I've mentioned Mateus before, Mateus de Stefana. I've listened to some of his stuff, really great dude. And he has mentioned before how when he was first getting started, he decided, he was pretty much broke, didn't have a lot of money. He decided to travel the world. And people were like, you don't have money. How are you going to do that? And he said he has always, when money comes in, he allows it to flow right out. And he's a very cosmic being. And so I think his wisdom is something that holds a lot of truth, because I feel as though beings like himself know something that Earth doesn't, which is why they're here. They're sharing that knowledge. And yeah, so, and he's like, why create stagnancy within this energy of money? Why hold on to it and save it out of a place of fear, out of a place of worry, and just let it go stagnant when the energy could be moving, it could be flowing, it could be circulating. And when it circulates, it comes back to you. Money doesn't just leave you. It's a circle. It's a full circle. And I've heard this from other people too, where what you spend, you receive. What you spend, you receive. And when you have that mindset, baby, you will always receive. You will always receive. But I loved what he said, and it's such a beautiful, playful way to work with abundance. Not letting the money sit, but allowing yourself to play with it, allowing it to move, allowing that energy to be what it wants in your life. Because when you put it in a box, you're putting a limit on it. When you keep that money and hold that money and just watch it, you're putting a cap on how much can flow in. But if you just allow it to be open and be okay with spending when you need to spend, understanding that you are playing with this energy and then it comes back to you, that will completely shift the relationship, the connection, the flow. And the other day, I had to get my headlight changed. And when they told me that it was going to range anywhere between 65 and 165, and I had been getting like money low account notifications because I just haven't switched money into my spending account in my bank. And payday was Friday. This was happening like Thursday. I started to get like kind of anxious, and I was like, okay, how can I rewire this view? Like, it's just 65 to 165, that'll be okay. Because at first I was like, Jesus Christ, y'all, it's a fucking headlight. Why the hell? Like, I usually change it myself, but I had to take it in because the screws were really stripped on it. And I'm just like, what the heck? However, I brought myself back. And I literally dropped in, like right after I got off the phone with the dealership. I hung it up and I put my hand on my heart and I said a prayer. And I was like, Spirit, I know that whatever I spend today is seen by you. And I know that whatever goes out comes back to me with ease. I hold the knowing that you see the bigger picture. And so you know what I am able to spend right now, and you have the clarity in what gets spent or what needs to be spent in order to receive this beautiful energy exchange. And then I dropped into gratitude for every single person at the dealership, for my car, for the headlight, for the ability to spend. And then I dropped in and, I was like, I pay no less than 65, no more than 165, and whatever amount between that is divine. And I know that it will come back to me with fluidness and ease. And it ended up being $80.59. And I was cool with that. I was like, okay, cool. Right on. Spirit sees the bigger picture. I don't need to understand. We got this. And so that's what I do. And the biggest thing with gratitude and spending, there was a time in my life where I was a thief. I stole a lot, guys. I'm not happy about this. And this is actually what made me want to dive into money healing. Because I used to have sticky little fingers. And I would steal a lot. like I've stolen, you know what, we don't need to get into it. I acknowledge this version of myself, and I acknowledge what she felt she needed to do to be happy, what she felt she needed to do to be abundant, and what she felt she needed to do to protect herself in that state of money that she was in. And it was a lot more at one point, but like in my early 20s, it ended up just being the grocery store mostly. Like, it was a lot more in high school and college, like material items, but then it just moved to like at the grocery. I was like, I had so much lack around spending food for myself. And when I dove into it, a lot came from body image things, from eating disorder tendencies that I've had in the past. A lot came from familial kind of beliefs and lineages of why do you need to spend that much on organic food? Why, like, there's a cheaper option available. And then two, a lot of it was just coming from lack. I didn't think I could afford this food, and $80 at the grocery at that point in my life was a lot of money, okay? It was a lot of money. And I would just kind of freak out, and I would do the self-checkout and just kind of throw things in my bag, okay? I'm not ashamed of myself, because I think we all do things that we think are helping us, and then when we peel back the onion layer, we see the bigger picture, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And what good does holding shame over yourself do? So, no shame. However, we do get to hold awareness and reflection around what was occurring. And what was occurring was the fact that every single time I stole something, I was feeding the belief that I could not afford that thing. And when that hit me, that I was creating the reality in which I would not ever be able to afford these things, that is when I was like, oh, I gotta check myself. I gotta rewire, reroute, and move in a different direction. Because, like, dear Lord, I don't want to create that reality. I want to create the reality in which I can afford anything. I can afford to feed myself luxury foods. I eat organic, and I feed myself the best possible foods for my body. All the time, every moment, and every day. That's the reality in which I want to live in, okay? And that is ultimately what stopped me from stealing things. Which is wild that it was that stopped it, and not the other reasons as to why it might not be good to steal items. But I'm grateful for that awakening. And the biggest thing that helped me move past when I did start paying for everything, move past that hump of like, shit, okay, well, now I'm still paying for everything, and there's still anxiety coming up, because healing, it's a phenomenon. It takes time. It happens on its own, scale. And I find myself still doing this. Like, I paid $240 at Costco the other day, okay? I stocked up. My pantries are empty, and now they full. But, like, yeah, they were very, very empty. So it was a big haul at Costco. We love Costco. And when I saw that number, I was like, whew, okay, heard. 240, okay, I got it, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to spend this money. I'm grateful to share with Costco. I am grateful for the ability to feed my body the beautiful foods that I wish to. I am grateful that I get to practice food as medicine. I am grateful to share my wealth with my friends, my family. I am grateful to share the abundance, and I know that 240 comes back to me with ease, with grace, and I get to play. Go have fun, money. Go have fun, energy. Go have fun in the ether and circulate. That was the biggest thing that shifted me. And back then, like I said, it was like $60, $80 at Meijer that I would be paying. And I just, every single time I got that link of fear or that feeling of like, oh God, why am I paying that much for groceries? I would drop into gratitude. And that fully shifts and transmutes the lack. So that is definitely a very, very good, just thing to use when you are trying to shift your mindset. And I'm looking at my notes here. So it's good to notice the stories in which you're playing when it comes to money. And I think I mentioned this earlier. Abundance isn't just money. That is often a very misinterpreted thing, I think, in the spiritual community. Because we hear the word abundance and we automatically assume money. And that's just not true. Because then you start running the story of like, well, I don't have money, which means I'm not abundant. And that just ain't true. We don't have abundance, we are abundance. We are birthed from the very energy of abundance. So it runs through us. And with the gratitude piece, it's good to notice the areas in which you are abundant in your life. And the more you start to notice just the beautiful abundance that occurs on a daily basis, well, the more you will receive that abundance. And I remember this beautiful moment that I had with a friend that I don't really talk to anymore, and frequencies are just kind of switched. And in this moment, it like showed very clear to me that like, okay, I don't think we're on the same wavelength anymore. But we were driving together and I got out of the car, and this was like when I was healing all of this money wounds and like really diving in. And I remember like we had just learned this in class to like acknowledge the abundance, and abundance is anything. And we had parked and I went to pay for my parking spot, and the parking spot was already paid for. And I was like, oh my God, this is abundance. And it was like my first moment of being like, this is what it means. And I was like, wow, I am so grateful for this abundance. And they basically like laughed at me, and not in like a haha hee hee, that's so cute. It was more like a, you're fucking weird, why are you saying this kind of laugh. Which, like, I love that I'm weird, and we should all be a little bit weirder, to be honest. But yeah, it just struck me so hard because I was like, oh, abundance, it's present in my life. And then like later that week, like I remember during this course, straight up, I was a sales manager at a greenhouse, and 3 different clients in 1 week brought me gifts. And that is abundance. That is abundance showing itself in such beautiful and magical ways. I got like a freaking, I don't know how many feet that is, like a 4-foot snake plant. If you know what a snake plant is, beautiful, beautiful. I had a little goodie bag come in, and she gave me like a little Ganesh and a little ring tray, and like a sage bundle and some other like crystals, I believe. And then another woman came in, brought me like a coffee and some cookies and like some other things. And like my manager was just like, at the end of the week, because like on one of the days, or was it one day? Did it happen in all one day? I can't remember. But my manager just like looked at me and was like, what? like, it was kind of like, why don't I get gifts? It's like, baby, change your frequency, get on the wavelength, come on. You gotta hold that abundance and the gratitude for the abundance in your life to receive it. And I'm trying to think today, like, I had one of my besties went to the farmer's market, and I asked her to get me a loaf of bread, and she brought me back a loaf of bread. And that is abundance. Even the smallest things like that is abundance, having someone in your life that will support you in a way like that. Or, having my partner, I get home and he's folded all the laundry. I'm like, wow, that is abundance. Just being grateful for the little acts of energies that you receive will really, really make a difference. And one of the things, I just want to share some affirmations that y'all can do out of this book, because I think they're super beneficial, and it'd be a really great place for you to start as well. The gratitude, the noticing what stories you are playing around money. So money is an energy, it's a spirit. So you can call upon the money spirit, and you can say, money spirit, show me in what ways I'm creating stagnant energy around receiving money. Or, money spirit, please demonstrate to me how I can stand in my abundance. And just kind of play, or take pen to a journal and ask spirit, what stories am I playing around money? And I think I was going to say this earlier, but I went off on a little tangent. Yes, so definitely sit with your money story. And what I mean by that is, what were the first interactions that you had with money? And when I sat down to do this, it was very surprising to me, because some of the first interactions I had with money were being at stores and being told, that's too expensive. That's too expensive. No, we can't afford that. Let's go there because it's cheaper. Or, we don't buy that for this. We only buy it for special occasions. Certain things like that, which that ain't no good. Okay, like, if you're trying to be an abundant being, we get to acknowledge those thoughts and acknowledge how at one point they may have protected our lineage, but now they no longer serve, and we get to buy whatever we want whenever we want, because we are abundant beings and money flows to us in prosperous, beautiful ways. So definitely, just ask spirit, what stories am I playing around money that are not benefiting me? And then you get to see, you get to acknowledge, you get to sit with yourself. And if you are having troubles kind of releasing this stuff, I am doing, for this week's video on YouTube, I'm going to do a meditation on prosperity. But also, if you want to drop into a personal coaching call and dive a little bit deeper, quantum heal, maybe talk to some ancestors about money healing, definitely hit me up. You can go to my website, earth2marissa.com, and we can dive into that and start this healing process for you. And I'm super excited, for that, for any of you that reach out and want to do that. But let's share some of these affirmations. So, I am a magnet for money. Prosperity is drawn to me. Juicy. I am open. Oh. I love that. Okay. I am open. I am open and ready to receive all of the wealth that life has to offer me. I use money to better my life and the lives of others. Money is the root of joy and comfort. So, important note here. If you look up affirmations, or you see people doing things, or you hear someone talking about money in a way and you feel triggered, or you feel like, that didn't feel good in my body, that is something to look at. And I felt something pop up when I said money is the root of joy and comfort. There is resistance in my body when I speak that. And so I get to take it to inquiry, and I get to sit with that and see, why does that cause me so much resistance? Let's see. And we get to play with it. And oftentimes I think, well, let me finish the affirmations and then we'll drop into that. Money and spirituality can coexist in harmony. Money expands my life's opportunities and experiences. Money comes my way quickly and easily. People love to give me money. They love to pay me. I like that one. I deserve to be highly paid for the work that I do. I am worthy of all the money I receive. I love money, and money loves me. Money is attracted to me and finds its way into my life quickly and easily. I create new money-making opportunities on a daily basis. I am so worthy of making money. So play with those. Dive into those. And let me know how you feel. And if any of those are triggering, you just get to look at it. You get to ask spirit, your spirit, why? Why is that triggering to me? And what I was going to say is, I grew up with a family that looked, I wouldn't say down upon rich people, but definitely in my life, I grew up going to a very, a school that had a lot of privileged people. A school that there was a big chunk of the students that had a lot of money. And I started to associate the personalities of these people with money. And then I started viewing rich people as bad and rich people as mean and aggressive. And I would never want to be that. I never want to be rich, because then that would affect who I am. And that, we get to release that right now. That just moved something within my being. We get to release that. And we get to know that having money is not a bad thing. Having money is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. And abundance, quite literally, can never run out. It is ever flowing, and it is ever present. And so money is available for everyone. And I think this is easy for us to do because there are some people that use their money in corrupt ways. And there are some super rich people that don't really share the abundance. However, abundance is ever flowing, and we can tap into all of it. And so I invite you to, when you start maybe getting a little anxious about money, or where you're at financially, or maybe a big bill was just paid and you're kind of freaking out. First, the best way to get yourself in a different headspace is to distract yourself. Distract yourself, go for a walk, breathe, watch a show. Like, the best way to change your mindset instantly is to do something different, quite literally. But then too, I want you to become comfortable in spaces where people have a lot of money. And Erin Lyons, a spiritual mentor that I listen to a lot, suggested this one time, and I love it. She was like, I want you to put yourself around rich people and see what happens. See how your comfortability changes. Watch what happens to your energy. Do you start judging them? Do you start getting insecure? And she was like, become super comfortable around people that have a lot of wealth, and watch how your wealth changes. And that was really cool because of this belief that I had growing up around rich people. So I've done that. I've played with that. And it's really interesting what comes forward when I sit with that and sit with whether it's in like one of my favorite restaurants in town is like bougie, like I will spend $80 on dinner there or more because I treat myself and I love myself. And so when I sit there by myself with my little book at the bar, and it's such a cute little, like, everything made in house, and they have vegan options, and I love it. I sit there and I sit in the frequency of wealth for the entire dinner. In those moments, in those date nights with myself, I am a 27-year-old millionaire that takes herself to dinner, that treats herself, that orders wine, an appetizer, a main dish, and a dessert, baby, because I am the whole meal. And I deserve to eat it too. And will I take myself to a little gift shop beforehand, buy myself a little something cute? Maybe. I have done that before. I went and got myself a little ring, and then I took myself to dinner at this bougie ass restaurant. Or like put yourself in like a hotel, maybe ball out one weekend and go to like the most expensive hotel in your means. That could be the fucking Holiday Inn, or that could be the JW Marriott, whatever it is, or a Hilton, whatever it's fancy in your town, and ball out maybe for one night and see what it's like to sit in that frequency of being rich. Because the more you get comfortable in that frequency, the more you can hold it. And being rich is a good thing. We can spend money and not feel bad about it. That's a big wound people have, where it's like, there are other people that don't have the ability to do this, and so I feel guilty for doing it myself. But abundance is ever flowing. It cannot run out. And I don't really have an answer for that headspace, but if you do feel that way, sit with it. And if you do want to work one-on-one, we can dive in through channeling and maybe receive an answer for that. But Marissa, I don't got an answer for that. I know that has come up, and I'm trying to think of what was said in the spaces where that has come up, and I feel like it's always just remembering that abundance cannot run out, and to like, they are experiencing the life in which they want to experience. As spirits, we choose these lifetimes to experience specific things. And so experiencing lack frequency or poverty frequency might be what that soul wants to experience. So we don't have to feel guilty or put ourselves on a pedestal to feel like we are higher than them. Like, that's not what's occurring at all. We get to be equal and spend differently. And then the last thing that I want to mention is to work with your ancestors on this. Call upon any of your highest and best ancestors that want to help you heal money wounds within your lineage. And this is wild. I have a great grandpa that comes through a lot when I'm working with money, because he held a lot in his views of money. He was a father during the Great Depression, and that is huge. And he was a farmer for several years, and they definitely were not the richest. And so he often comes through a lot when I work with money, and we've worked together to heal a lot. So your ancestors are here for you. They want to help, and call upon the money spirits and call upon the highest and best ancestors that can support you at this time. And when working with any spirits, it's always good to just ask and call upon the highest and best. This solidifies the knowing that then whatever spirits come forward to help you are the highest and best, and you're not going to get some random ass spirit from the ether coming down to serve you. Like, your spirit knows and connects with what serves you. So I hope you enjoyed this beautiful episode about abundance. I could keep talking, but I need to go eat dinner, and I am probably gonna go sleep more. The yawn stopped, which is pretty cool. I just now noticed that, and now that I said it, I'll probably yawn again, but that's okay. Yeah, I am just so grateful for, if you made it to this 55 and 16 second marker. I am grateful for you listening, and just grateful for the space to share. I was feeling really kind of bleh after work today, and now I'm feeling quite nice and energized, and I really do believe not only is that from just tapping in and sharing wisdom, but I do believe it's the viewers on the other side. When I sit down to do these videos, I'm picking up on y'all too, and I am just so grateful for the love that you share, for the support that you give, and for the community that is building on the Earth to Marissa podcast and YouTube channel. So I just, thank you so much for listening, and I really do hope that this helped, and I am sending you all so much love. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.